This video is being pre-shot for publication tomorrow at 8 a.m.
Hi everybody, we're going to go ahead and conclude the Eric Clapton From the Cradle review series today with our look at the Martin Scorsese documentary Nothing But the Blues, which kind of chronicles Eric Clapton's Fillmore run of shows on the From the Cradle tour. Along with concert footage, Eric kind of tells the story of his journey into the love of blues, and there are also testimonial interviews. There are also interviews with such blues luminaries as, I believe, Junior Wells, B.B. King, and Eric Clapton, or B.B. King and Buddy Guy, kind of to help Eric, tell kind of the history of the blues. And like I said yesterday, this is a live album, or there's also a live album attached to the documentary, and the live album contains the basically the soundtrack from the documentary. The only criticism that I have of the documentary is that during the performance of Motherless Child, just before the performance starts, there is still a bit of old footage, old documentary footage that cuts into the performance, whereas on the CD the performance is complete, and I've always kind of disliked that about concert films that have footage that cut into the performance. But other than that, this thing is tremendous. And like I said yesterday too, this is my favorite version, of Robert Johnson's Crossroads that Eric does is on this CD and show. When I first heard when I first heard this version, because he does it in the style of Bo Diddley, and the song "Willie and the Hand Jive," which is a song that he covered in the 70s, I believe, on 461 Ocean Boulevard. And when I first heard him start Crossroads this way, I was kind of taken aback. I thought he was going to break into Willie and the Hand Jive. But like I said, this is my favorite version of Crossroads, because I've never heard him do it like this, and I was pleasantly surprised. Normally he does it in kind of either a fast kind of Cream version, because Cream, when they cut it on Wheels of Fire, I believe, was the album that they cut this on. They did it in kind of a fast, up-tempo version, and that is not. I like it done in kind of a. I like Eric's slow, bluesy, versions rather than up tempo. And, so when I saw Crossroads on the set list for this CD, for this album and DVD, I was thinking that he was going to do it in like the blues shuffle, like he most commonly does. But I was pleasantly surprised to find out that he had done it in the Bo Diddley Willie Hand Jive style, and it is my favorite version. And of course, like I said yesterday, this concert film and live album is filled with tunes from the Cradle. And I won't go over I won't go over a lot of the tunes because we went over those yesterday when we were reviewing the record from the Cradle. But I will say that one of my other favorite blues songs, he kind of closes with this blues with this song, is Every Day I Have the Blues by Lowell Fulson, I believe, is who did it originally. And he had, ever since I had heard Eric do it on his Hyde Park concert, DVD, I had always wanted a copy of his version of it, and so I was thrilled to find out that it was part of Nothing But the Blues. And actually, I wasn't too surprised that Eric chose Martin Scorsese to document this time period in his career because, Marty Scorsese's rock documentaries are superb. I mean, he's a great rock documentarian along with his regular work. He has a real love of music, and his film, when he does a rock documentary like Last Waltz or Shine a Light, by the Rolling Stones, he has a real sensitivity. He's really sensitive to music in film, and he doesn't let it overpower the narrative. And his musical films tell a story. And when I was watching this, I was transported, through Eric's interviews and the other interviews with, BB and Junior Wells and Buddy Guy. I got a real education on the blues, and I think some of that is due in part to Marty. I mean, not unlike Ken Burns, with Marty's music documentaries, he also is a great storyteller as far as documentaries go, and I can only compare him to Ken Burns because Ken Burns is that way too. When he sets out to be, do a documentary, I'm always, from from the second I sit or I start watching, I'm always in, I'm always engrossed in it within like 2 seconds, and um, I think I think this was a triumph on both Eric's and Marty's parts, and I hope you enjoy this. One of my favorite songs I forgot to mention in the body of the video is Eric's cover of a Howlin' Wolf number that I hadn't heard before I watched this. It's a song called 44. And then I had since, um, I have since heard Howlin' Wolf's version of it, and it has become one of my favorite Howlin' Wolf songs since then. You'll notice when you look at the picture of the movie poster that will be in the video that it says released 1996 slash 2022. The initial release of the concept film was in 1996, and the it was re-released on DVD and Blu-ray and CD in 2022.